And yeah, so I would need my phone because I constantly, I mean, if you're producing anything, I think you need a phone constantly. It's like being a lawyer. Like you have to be on and you have to be able to talk to people and respond to people.
Yeah.
And the more and more you produce things and the more and more, the higher and higher your aspirations are, it only gets worse from there, you know?
Yeah. It's, the phone is just like, it's the singularity at this point. It's basically in us. It might as well be.
And you know, it's funny because I've been coming to this realization, like I've had this thought for so long that I'm going to get to a point where I'm successful enough to where I don't have to worry about this social media stuff anymore. I can just do my thing and I'll be fine because I'll have other people that I can, like, you know, I'll have the funds I need to have other people do that for me. But from what I hear, that's not usually the case. Usually, people who start to get success try to do stuff like that, and then the people they hire don't really do it right, and they realize, oh no, I do have to just do my own social media forever. And I'm terrified that that's what's gonna happen because I think that's probably what's gonna happen.
I could see that. You want something done. You want something done right. You know. You have to do it yourself.
And like you can have people edit for you, but posting is a whole different thing. Because I think that's what I saw Adam Ray saying that in an interview. Like he posts all his own videos on TikTok and all these social media platforms, but I don't think he edits them. So he has someone else edit them, but he doesn't post them. And it was exactly what I just said. Like he had someone else posting them, but then they weren't really doing it right, or it wasn't really fitting like what he would do.
His aesthetic.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you got to look out for. And it's so hard to find somebody. You need like ride or dies when it comes to stuff like that. Like if you're going to have people posting for you and things like this.
Yeah.
And dude, it's just, oh my God, I'm going to be married to this phone for the rest of my life. Like that's my fate.
Yeah, we're going to be buried with them.
And it's already started. It's already begun. I mean, do you feel that way with your podcast, with comedy, with all that?
I've been recently getting into my social media game better. I've now made a schedule like you were talking about. So I have my Monday post, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way to Friday. And then I have the street stand-up stuff, those clips that I'm going to start putting out and creating a schedule for that. So
I'm sure that stuff would probably do well on social media.
We'll see.
I think it would. I mean, do you have people interacting with you in it too? Because that stuff, I mean, even more so, right? Cause I feel like people, it's like the crowd work thing. Anybody just sees it and it's like, oh, that could be me. That could be anybody, you know? But how long, you've been doing that stuff for a while too, right?
The street stuff or stand up in general?
The street stuff.
Yeah. I've been doing, I started busking when I was in college, and then street stand up came about a few months before quarantine.
Okay.
So I would say I've been doing the street stand up thing for a few years.
Where do you usually do it now? Is it all over the place or?
I have 3 spots, 3 or 4. Wicker, the by the blue line, the Damon blue line.
Yeah.
So there's the Wicker spot. Oh my God, what is that? It's by Kohl's, the
on the red line thing.
No, it's also by the blue line.
Target.
Kohl's, not Kohl's, the clothing store, the bar.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember which neighborhood that is. Then there's a spot I have in Boys Town. That gets really rowdy. And then I've tried Andersonville like once, and it was a little too posh for me. For someone being on the street talking shit, they're a little too, pinkies out for something like that. So yeah.
But Boys Town, they're like sassy, so it works.
Oh, Boys Town is fucking wild. It's a lot of yelling and screaming. You can't really get much out. You just gotta let people be drunk.
They talk back a lot.
Oh, a lot. A lot. Motherfuckers love to talk at Boys Town.
I bet they do.
Yeah. But it's been cool. Like I'm it's too cold for me to do it now. But once it warms up again, I'll get back to it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that. Yeah, and now I think about it, Harry Mack. It's kind of like when he does the freestyle stuff on the beach, like in LA. Like it's just it's a good place to do something like that, to just sit out in an urban area and then just pull people in and get them to participate. It's it's an endless concept. Like you could do it forever.
Yeah, the Charlie Kirk stuff gave me pause. Not to
right.
Not to say that people are gunning for me, but it was like that. Did you see the video?
Oh yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
it's
I mean,
pretty-
it's funny. I think it kind of got harder to find after the first like 3 to 7 days. Like I don't know if right now, if you tried to find it, if you could find it, I think it'd be pretty hard because I remember the first couple days it was super easy to find, which is
I accidentally watched it. It was
a
pretty
lot of
crazy.
people did.
Yeah.
I saw the less graphic one first, so which was like it was farther away and it kind of the camera pans away right away.
Yeah.
So you don't really understand how graphic it is, and then you see the close-up
Close-up
one.
one.
Woo! Oh my God! There's actually multiple. I found another video where it was like behind him to the right. And
Yeah.
you don't really see that one very often. You know, I didn't see it the day of. I didn't see it anywhere. I only found it because I was trying to find, like I said, the original one again, and I figured out it was hard to find that original one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Really
yeah, that's dude. Nobody. I don't think anybody deserves such a fate, and it's makes everybody more weary to go out and speak in public, right? Because the Kirk effect, you could call it that now.
You said you don't feel like so you feel like he doesn't deserve to go out like that?
I don't think any public speaker that I've seen, like if you're not engaging in violence, I don't think you deserve to go out in an act of violence. I just think it's like I don't think that culturally it says the right thing. I don't think I just don't. It's more mayhem, and that's not going to fix the problem.
Yeah, I think my feelings on it are I'm not going to celebrate it, but
Yeah.
I'm also not going to mourn him.
Right.
My feelings are like, I don't know, man. That's what happens when you do that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and it's
a
kind of
lot.
like, it's like the whole argument where you have freedom of speech, and then freedom of speech also has consequences.
Yeah,
right?
that's a pretty hell of a consequence.
Exactly. Exactly. There's a very hefty consequence there indeed. And it just makes me think like what it really makes me worry about is morally where we're at like as a culture, because I think we've just gotten more and more violent over time. Like we've just accepted these things with the healthcare CEO and then the Trump assassination and all these things. Like it's so regular now to just see some violence and go, hell yeah. And that's just not something you used to see. It's a kind of weird thing to look at.
Why do you think it's happening?
Because violence is all around us all the time, and we're so used to it. And it's not like violence was not there before, but I think that, and there's just so many factors it's not any specific thing, but I just have to imagine that the fact that we can see everything all at once, that the singularity that is our phone. I mean, I think that does a lot of it. We just know we're so hyper aware, and I think that before you had all that, it would be so irregular to see some violence in your life. You would be like, oh my God, you'd never forget it. And now you can just see some violence while scrolling, and it's just a part of your day.
Yeah. I want to say the past month there has probably been at least one story that deserved a year's worth of focus. Like the fact that O.J. Simpson took up everyone's attention for a year is crazy to me.
Right, exactly.
I can't believe that. Like I don't. Yeah.
Or I mean, like, who was it was Chicago, right? The first police violence with the video. I'm forgetting the name.
Oh no, that's Rodney King, and that was in L.A.
LA, and that was the spark that starts it all with the videos and all this, and that was when, the 90s?
91, 92.
And that was years of outrage. I mean, that didn't die for a long time, and that was just the beginning. I mean, who could have known?
Well, schools get shot up, and I'm like, that's what happens.
Yeah, and so I have to imagine, and it's just an impossible thing to fix. Like, who really even knows? No one really has an answer for that. Because I think that no one really knows the true cause. How do you even diagnose that? I mean, it's just everybody's so... And I don't think it's even just America, but I think America's probably
pretty good at the violence.
Yeah, we're really good at it. We specialize in it.
When you say violence, are you speaking to guns specifically, or are you speaking to other things?
I think it's even just the acceptance of violence is what I'm talking about. Like the fact that... Because I don't think these people... I think a lot of people who see something violent happen in the news and then endorse that, I don't think think they would participate in that violence themselves, but I just think it's, and I think it's what makes it even more interesting. Like, they wouldn't shoot a healthcare CEO. They wouldn't go up to a guy and shoot him. 90% of the people that are saying this guy did the right thing would not do that themselves if they were presented the situation, because they would think, no, that's crazy. But they would endorse it, and that's odd to me, because
we're talking the healthcare CEO,
or just anybody who gets publicly, attacked or anything like this. Where I've been saying this. I think this is I think the next, since like Kirk was last, I think Logan Paul would be like a next rung on the ladder, because I think the society is so torn on him that I think if something happened to Logan Paul, I bet you 50% of people would be like, well,
what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? He kind of deserved it.
I really like the Kirk thing is a little more muddy, because he's a speaker, because he's a public speaker, and I can relate to that. The CEO, I kind of have no problem with.
Yeah, well,
it doesn't bother me at all.
I can understand it. Like, when I say all this, don't get me wrong, I totally understand why people would. I think the healthcare system is the most corrupt thing of all time. It's nuts. My mom right now is on strike. She's a nurse, and she's been on strike for months because the hospital is now, they have all these travel nurses, and they just got bought out by this corporation, and now the hospital's trying to like phase out all the nurse. Like, my mom's been there for 20, 30 years, and they're trying to just fuck over all these other nurses that have been there forever, so they can have all these other people that's more convenient for them as a corporation. And that's the medical industry for you in a nutshell right there. I mean, that's just one hospital.
Corporatizing health feels really sinister.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy, yeah.
But with the billionaire guy, like, I would never.
No.
I would never.
Of course not.
but when people do it, I don't have a problem. Like, it's one of those things where the amount of pain and suffering that man has caused through doing what he does, it's like, yeah. I mean, I guess I feel bad for his kids, but they're probably pieces. They're probably not that great either. They have his DNA. I don't know. I feel a little bad about that statement, but that is besides the point. Yeah, I have this thing about do you I don't know if I should ask.
Oh, you can ask me anything. I'm an open book.
Do you own a gun?
No.
You gonna get ready? You gonna strap up?
Dude, you know what happened to me recently?
Uh-oh.
I saw two trans people attack another trans person on the train, and they had like
equality.
They had mace.
Oh yeah.
And they like at first it was like these two people who are, you know how the red line is. It's just two people who are just talking, just causing chaos. So who knows what this is? And so they're trying to like pass out roses, walking around, and then she's saying that hey, can you hold this, like, to this other girl who was sitting there with her boyfriend or whoever the guy was.
Okay.
And those guys moved because she was saying, like, come on, I have to do this, hey, can you hold this? And so it becomes clear then, oh, she wants to fight somebody. But like the other person who she's saying she wants to fight is like ignoring her. And I'm still confused if they all know each other because they're all trans. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Wait, how can you tell they're all? Can you just one of those, like, you can just.
Well, you can just tell. I mean, you can just tell that all these people, and like also it was acknowledged after this occasion goes down, of course. Right. So anyway, so she's saying all this, and then the girl's has her headphones on, and the other girl's holding her stuff now. And this is something I've noticed, that when people are violent on the train, this is how you know it's so deliberate. Because they wait till the train stops. They wait till the train gets to a stop, and then they do it. So that way they can get you off the train. Because that's what happened to me when I got punched, but that's a whole different other story. So anyway.
I'm invested. Okay. Dude, you know, I love
that's why I felt so sympathetic to this story when this happened. So this person is just sitting there minding their own business, and I don't know if they know each other, and I'm looking over watching this, and then the train comes to a stop, and she gets out her mace or whatever the fuck it was. I think it was pepper spray, and she sprays it at the other girl. And then the other girl, she's getting pepper sprayed now. So she like takes off. I don't even know how. I can't remember exactly what happened. But she gets up. The girl that was with her, not the girl that sprayed, but the girl that was with her, goes over to her after she sprayed and starts kicking like that. And so then Then the girl gets out and like runs out, and I'm thinking she's running out of the train and she's gonna run up, but then she comes back into the train car and she went like towards the conductor, and I think nothing happened. So then she went out and around again, and when she went out and around again, the second girl that did the kicking came in front of me, and I like stuck my leg out and tried to trip her, but then she didn't really get tripped, and she looked back at me, but I think she didn't realize what I did, so she just kept going. So then they go to the front of the train, and the whole time the girl that got sprayed is like, "Stop following me! Why are you doing this to me?" Like just screaming. And so then they're at the front of the train, and at this point I'm like, oh god damn it, like no one's gonna do anything. So I probably should do something.
Okay.
So
All right, Superman, what happened?
Well, it was like still happening. This was like 30 seconds after this begun.
Yeah.
And so I put my bag to the side and I get up and like, because they were gonna come out and around. So it was like a chase thing, right? It's like Ben and
Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry. Yeah, Tom and Jerry. So they go back in. She, the one, the chasee, is back in the front of the train, and the other two are about to come in. So when I get to the front, I kind of like put my hands around. I'm like, no, like you're not going in there. Just leave her alone. Just leave her alone. She's like, get out the way, get out the way, get out the way. I'm like, no, you're not gonna go in there. And she kind of gives up. But then the original girl, the pepper sprayer, comes in, and she's like, get the fuck out the way. What the fuck you doing? Get the fuck out the way. You know, like just yelling in my face. And I'm like, no. I'm still trying to maintain my composure and this and that. And like, I'm not aggressive at all. I'm just like, no, come on. Which I think is probably the better move, because if I'm aggressive, they're going to fuck it immediately. Like, that's not a good move. And so once she starts like trying to throw punches at me, then I start to back up. I'm like, all right. And so I start to back up. And I think at that point, it was already kind of over, probably because I did that. Because I think like I had stalled long enough to where... they ran off, and because they're worried about police showing up now or something like that. And then the girl comes over to me and she's like, when's it gonna stop burning? And I think they attacked me because I'm trans and they're trans. And and the first thing I asked her was like, did you know those people? And she's like, no, they just attacked me because I'm trans. That's what it was. And so I said, oh, all right. And then, sit down, and, and then she said, does anybody have milk? And it was so convenient because I actually just bought milk from Jewel Osco. So
all right.
She pours milk on all over her face. She tells me her name is Leona.
Okay.
And that's the whole story, yeah. But the reason I brought all that up is because you asked me if I had a gun. Because I thought, like, if I had pepper spray or some type of thing, that would have been so much better. Like, when I got up and I was going to do something, that would have been the moment. Pull out my pepper spray.
Yeah.
Gotcha, bitch. And I want to do it now. Like, now I actually kind of want to do it. Because it's like... me getting punched is a whole other story, but it's just like, dude, there'll be some crackheads out here just doing bullshit, just like igniting bullshit over nothing. That's the time you need some pepper spray, because these guys need to be diffused. You got to put them out because they have like crazy. They're fighting you for no reason. They will kill you for no reason. They don't know you, but they see the devil in you today. That's what it is.
Sounds like you described an average day on the red line.
Dude, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was like, damn, like again? God damn it. Because I don't want to believe the stereotypes.
Of the red line?
Yeah, that's my ride home.
That's the red line. So you wouldn't want to get a gun, but you want to get pepper spray.
I'd rather have pepper. Well, guns illegal on the red line. I pull out a gun, I get arrested.
If you have a concealed carry.
On the red line, it's not allowed. It says no guns on the train. You take the red line or no? You take the train?
I had to take it up here.
Because I thought on the train, like when you get on the train, like they have even the logos all over it, like no guns.
If you have, there's different licenses. So
you can have a concealed carry on the train. I thought you couldn't. Are you sure?
If I have my FOID card. And my FOID card means that I
can
have
to pull out a Glock.
So this is my FOID card, and that just means that I can have my own gun in my apartment or my space of living.
Okay, FOID, firearm owner's identification card.
Yeah.
Okay. FOID.
But I cannot just take that thing onto the train. But if you have a concealed carry, license in Illinois, that means you took like 48 hours worth of classes, and you have a certificate, and you can legally carry a firearm concealed. You can't be waving it, or obviously a thing would have to happen for you to legally be able to take it out and use it.
What I would wonder then is if it's like California, because I know in California the laws are to the point where you can't defend your house sometimes. If you pull out a gun and you shoot somebody who's in your house, you can still get arrested for murder. And I would wonder if on the if it's disputable. Like, say if I was in that same situation and then I pull out a gun to defend somebody, or like, hey, get back, get back, get back, get back, and then they still approach me, could I still get prosecuted for?
I'm sure.
That's what I'd be worried about.
Yeah, I first, and to be clear, I don't like guns. I have a gun and I don't like it.
Oh yeah, I would never want to use a gun.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the most ideal self-defense, obviously.
I guess ideal depends on what your goal is.
Right.
Like,
well, you can even diffuse some, like you can shoot somebody's leg or shoot somebody. You don't have to shoot to kill.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
I think that the gun thing, I only have it because our country's so goddamn crazy.
Right.
But in a perfect world, no, I fucking hate guns.
Yeah, of course.
And I don't know. I don't know if we've talked about this. I like the martial arts. I like jujitsu and boxing and shit.
If only we had no guns, no knives. It was all just jujitsu everywhere.
I think we would have a far healthier
That
environment.
would be awesome. Oh, and you know what happened too? Just to cap off that story, when I got off the train, there was somebody who rode the train with me all the way like to that stop, and to the stop that I got off at. And so we're both getting off together, and he didn't even notice me at first. And he turns around, he sees me carrying my milk that was poured all over her face.
Of course.
And he's like, oh, it was good that you did something, back in my country where I'm from, Africa, they would have killed those people. That's literally what he told me.
We killed them because they were trans?
No, because with the violence that they had caused on the train. He was saying like the consequences of them doing that in public would have been death where I'm from. Which I thought was crazy.
Seems like a little over-escalation.
He's probably not even exaggerating. He's probably he probably came from a poor area, and he's probably literally saying, like, if you acted like that where I'm from, like he's saying America's nuts, dude. That's what he's telling me. Like, this place is crazy. Oh, and the other thing he said to me is he worked downtown at the hotel down the Marriott, and he's been taking the train. The last 9 years, he's seen that trans girl on the train, and she's never said anything to anybody. She doesn't talk to anybody. She doesn't do anything. And also something the trans girl said to me, if it makes anybody feel any better, is that she's lived in Chicago for 9 years, and she's never had any violence like that happen to her ever. So that was a good thing to hear, at least.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's not like this happens all the time to everybody.
I would hope
every
not.
day. Yeah, but it does happen every now and then to some of us, it seems.
Yeah, you seem to have a getting punched story.
Yeah, and I don't want to make it too long, but what it was I was sitting on the train. I'm on the phone with my dad. I got my headphones in. I'm on my way to work. And I'm just talking to him on the phone. And like the problem with any of these things is you either look too much or you don't look at all. Because shouldn't you be paying attention? But then I've had other people tell me, like, no, like the problem is you are paying attention. You shouldn't be looking. You should be looking out the window. But both things can go wrong. So I don't know if either is right or more. I think it's probably more right to look out the window. But anyway, I was looking. And so this guy's like talking, and I can see him talking. But I'm not even really talking to him. I'm talking to my dad on the phone with my headphones on. And I notice he's like talking like he's looking at me and talking. But I'm still thinking, like, I've seen crackhead monologues before. So I think that's what this is.
Oh, he's like a drug addict?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's just like some guy talking to talk, and he just won't stop talking. There's no one listening to him. But then as he's doing that, I noticed the girl. So I'm sitting like towards I'm in the, by the way, ever since this incident, I sit in the front train car, which is where the pepper spray incident occurred. But I'm always in the front train car now because of my punching story. So I was somewhere in the middle of the train, but I'm in the middle front of the car, like right next to where the door is to where you're going to get out. And then the guy is like towards where the front of that car is, where you're right next to where you could open up the door and go through the next door. So he's like across from me to the right, but there's a girl sitting in front of me to like facing him. And so I remember looking at her, and she looks at me, and she makes this eye contact that's like, damn, this guy is crazy. And I thought that's what she was saying with her eyes, but I realized in retrospect she was saying, oh, he's crazy, but he's talking to you. Which I didn't know that, because I'm not even really listening to him. I'm on the phone. I'm just like paying attention to him. And then he gets up and walks towards me. And so now it's like, oh Lord, And so I remember like I think he says to me like something along the lines of, no, like I ought to fucking whop you. I ought to fucking hit you. I ought to fucking, like he said something like threatening. I can't remember what it was, but it was something along the lines of like, I ought to do something. And I could tell that he was talking about me, but I can't even really remember what he was saying. It was just like, oh, you motherfucking like da 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 da. And so I remember what I say though, because I remember I take my headphones out, like I pull one headphone out, and I said to him, "Excuse me," which is probably a poor choice of words, but I really didn't even know what he was talking about. And then he just whops me upside the head. And I remember, like, I think at that point I said, like, "Jesus, dude." Just said that, like, because I really don't want to fight this guy. So then I think he hits me like boom, 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 and then he just kind of stops. And then I remember by the time I look up, he's gone. And I was actually kind of thankful because he didn't steal my phone, or like my phone was right there. He could have just grabbed my phone and ran off. He didn't do that. He just punched me.
Was he bigger than you?
He was bigger than me, and I think my theory is because I was just that white guy in the room that day. Because I feel like it was racially motivated. I just feel like it was, because I remember him saying something like white da-da-da, white da-da-da, and why the fuck was he attacking me in the first place? Who knows? But I'm pretty sure it's because, and I remember the next day when I went to work, because I had to like text my work and show them a picture of my bloody face and say, "Hey, I got punched." But I remember the next day, the same guy was on the chick. I remember because it was crazy eyes, and he made eye contact with me, and he didn't remember me. He didn't, because I was like, I saw him, and I thought, oh fuck, like please no. And then he looked at me, and then nothing, and I was like, wow. So I was just the guy, and I would assume the only character, maybe I just look like an affluent white person. I remember some guy called me Mr. Hollywood when I was walking downtown once because I was wearing sunglasses.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I don't know what I look like to other people, but I think it was what I looked like to him that day. It was whatever it was, because I didn't do anything, and that's just how this stuff happens. That's what happened to the person in my other story, and that's why I felt bad for her, because she didn't. And I didn't know if she knew them. If I knew that they didn't know each other from the very beginning, I probably would have done something even sooner. Because it's like, dude, what the fuck? It reminds me of that girl who got stabbed that everybody talked about on social media. Because what's the commentary? Everybody goes, oh, well, nobody even came up to her and helped her. But I think a lot of people don't understand that when there's a crazy person on the train with a knife, what would you do? What do you do? Because you do hesitate and you don't know what to do. And it is like you wait for somebody to do something, and it takes one person to do something. And like when those people were saying to me after the thing, they were saying like, oh, it's good that you did something. I feel like the best thing I can say is like, well, it's not like anybody could have done something. Like it's not just me. Like you could have done something too.
Why do you think people have a tendency to not?
Because it's natural. It's like a herd mentality thing. Like, it just makes sense. You don't want to put yourself in harm's way. And I think it takes, like, most people aren't leaders, and most people aren't willing to put themselves in that type of, like, that's why those people stay. That's why those stories stick out. That's why those people stick out. And it's, I remember, I've always been the type of guy, like in high school, it pissed me off when people would like bully other kids. Like, I can't stand that type of thing. Like, if there's a kid doing nothing and you're just picking on him for no reason, like, to me, that is like, you are such an asshole. Like, I should be the one to say something. If no one else is going to say it, like, you guys are fucking crazy. Like, you're not going to say something about this guy's an asshole. Like, and I'll just say it. And I had instances like that in high school where that would happen. Like, there was a kid I remember in a class, they would like say his name from across the room, like, oh, hey, Logan, and like wait for him to look, and then he looks, and then they all look away, and they were paying him because they think he's a nerd, like they think he's a dork. And then so I remember I would just say, I would go, Elijah. I do the same shit to him.
How did Elijah handle that?
I don't even think they got it, like, because they don't even understand like the chess move I'm doing. They just get confused.
It seems like a perceived weakness.
What do you mean?
Those the first story you were telling about the girl who's minding your business, the story you're telling about you minding your business. You were saying, what does it give off that this would happen, or why does this happen? Or even the story of high school you were just saying about Elijah and Logan. Yeah. People that have a dark streak or have issues and they perceive somebody as weak, they tend to go after that person that's weak.
Yeah, and I think it's like the same thing you see with like relationships, how people pursue the same types of people. It's almost like this psychic thing we don't even know we're doing. Like, and that's why you can't be a mark. Because if you're a mark, the sharks will find you.
Do you think you present yourself as like someone that's a mark or someone that shouldn't be fucked with?
No, I think I'm somewhere. I like to think I'm someone who shouldn't be fucked with, but in reality, I'm probably somewhere in the middle. I'm probably not quite. I'm not a mark, but I don't think people would think like I don't know, actually. That's a good question. I like to hope. See, I got to be careful because I don't want to say that I'm like, dude, I'm totally an alpha. I'm the coolest motherfucker in the world. But when I do hand people my business card, I say I'm the greatest rapper of all time.
Oh,
so,
okay. That's confident.
Yeah, and I do believe myself when I say it. But you got to be careful, in this world.
I would say so, yeah. Like, that's what I love about, and I know I talk about this shit all the time, but that's what I love about the martial arts. It changes the way you even present yourself.
How so?
I think that pre-jiu-jitsu and boxing, I seemed like a mark because I was trying to make myself smaller, and because I was raised to do so, the whole other long story. And then after taking it, it's not that I go around trying to fucking puff out my chest or be fucking All Might from My Hero Academia or anything like that, but you just are more confident, you are more calm, you feel more in control. And when you present yourself like that type of person doesn't want to mess with you because you're going to be a problem. Even if they get whatever they're trying to get, they're going to get hurt in the process.
Yeah, and I feel like just the confidence that comes with you knowing how to engage in like when we got Fight Club on Saturday. You're welcome to come if you want to come to Fight Club. Saturdays.
Okay. So Saturdays, it's open mat. It's not like we're in a basement bare knuckle boxing or anything like that, but it's open mat from like 10 to noon. There's striking the first hour and then grappling and striking the second hour.
Okay.
And
how many people show up?
Are comics or fighters that tend to
just
go
in
there?
general, I suppose. Both.
In general, comics, it's like me and Rachel Hall, and that's about it.
Okay.
And a guy named Jason Cross comes through from time to time. Fighters, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe about 10, 15. Yeah. And then we just take turns fighting each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is it like, see, I've never even, would it be beginner friendly? Yeah. I suppose would be a good question. Like,
absolutely.
Would I be able, because I don't even know what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
I have no clue.
If you go in there and you say, I don't know what I'm doing, then everyone in there will be respectful of that. And nobody's going to blast you in the face or try to hurt you. They're going to try to help you.
Is it like boxing?
Boxing, Muay Thai, and then jiu-jitsu is the second hour.
Okay. And you have been doing these things for how long? Jiu-jitsu
I did for about 3 years, and then I need to get back into it. But I've basically stopped for boxing, which has been about a year.
Okay.
Maybe a year some change.
Yeah, because you did that whole show that was themed.
Yeah. We're almost done with that finally.
Yeah. You mean like editing it and all this?
Yeah.
How long? It takes that long to edit a special?
It's a long.
Because I know Kevin Kellum, if you know him.
Yeah.
He just did his special, but now it's been a couple months and he's still editing it. And I just wonder, because he just posted about it and it reminded me. I was like, oh yeah, his special. So I wonder how long it regularly even takes. Like, what's the regular turnover rate for a special?
I
Jeez.
think it depends on how much money you got.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like what, editing it and cutting it and color correction and sound,
all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what else.
And it's also it's nerve wracking. You're putting yourself out there. Like if you put out an album, I'm sure you want it to be really good.
Yeah.
And so that instinct to be like, well, let's hold off another month and let's make sure that this, like, because once you put it out there, it's out there now.
Yeah.
So that's part of it. But with the Fight Club thing, like, it's fascinating. Like, I remember 2 weeks ago I was there and a new guy showed up, and we're sparring, and like he is throwing everything he has at it because he's in fight or flight mode. He doesn't know how to turn this dial.
Right.
All he knows is I am now fighting, and this guy's going to hit me, so I have to hit him first. And you seen Spider-Man, the first one with Tobey Maguire?
Yeah.
You remember when he first gets his Spidey sense and everything moves really slow and the punches move really slow and he's like, oh.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. When you do it enough times, like I'm doing it every week, and so when a new guy comes in and he's swinging, you can see it a mile away. And it's hard to explain. You become very calm.
Yeah. And it probably becomes so much more instinctual like that. That's probably a lot of it. It's like, it reminds me, it's like the rule of everything in the sense that you could put it really simply with the analogy of driving drunk in the sense that you normally, it would be very difficult to drive anywhere drunk. Like, how do you get from point A to point B, or even walking somewhere drunk? Like, if I told you to navigate to somewhere you've never been before, like I said, hey, go to my house, and you've never been to my house, and you're drunk right now. But if you were drunk, but you're going like a path that you've been 500 times, you for some reason
body in an instant.
yeah. Or if you even, maybe it's just because you're such a good driver that you're so used to driving that every time you're just the best drunk driver all the time. Maybe you're the best when you write music. You're so good at writing music because, like, when you're drunk, because you're just so good at writing music in general. Like, it's almost like people, because you know what confuses me is when people can do history when they're drunk. I can't remember things when I'm drunk. How the fuck can people remember history better when they're drunk? I've never understood that. But that's one of those things. It's a thing. Yeah. Some people are really good at that. Yeah. You get them drunk and they'll just start bringing up history facts. Like, how? That's possible. But I mean, like, I think it's just the rule of everything where you do it enough times and it just becomes the nature of it. You don't even think about it anymore. It's like if at some point you're memorizing the rules and you're figuring it out, but when at another point you're way past that and now you don't even think about the rules anymore. They're just like,
it's just muscle memory.
Yeah, the rules are like they barely even come to mind when you're doing the thing. Like it's always funny to me when I see videos that are like explaining rap, like explaining like the way that someone wrote a rap. Like, oh, this is a triple pentameter. Da da da. It's like, dude, rappers don't think like that. Like, if you're a rapper, you're not thinking you're not thinking about the metronome, and you're not thinking about like how you're gonna. You might think about that like a tiny bit. You're not writing everything like that. And like, it's just, you can't obsess over little details. You can't obsess over the rules. Like, that's a bad way to think. That's like a beginner way to think in my mind.
The beginner, if you learn the fundamentals, then you can get rid of the fundamentals after you've learned the fundamentals.
But you shouldn't obsess over them. Like, even if you're learning them, like, you can't just be so worried about them all the time, you know?
It's a balance. I think with any skill, it's a balance of that freedom of just trying things, but also wanting it to be good and having structure. Balance. Do you, oh my God, have you ever heard of Dissect?
No.
I think you should look it up on Spotify.
What is it?
It's like a music podcast where they'll take an album and they will break it down to its minutiae and its themes. It's really interesting. I don't know if you're a big Kendrick fan, but they do some Kendrick stuff.
Maybe I saw it the one time when I think they did. I think it was the Kendrick one. It might have been, because that's the only reason it sounds familiar to me. Like when you said it was a music thing. Maybe it was
They did
To Pimp a Butterfly?
They did To Pimp a Butterfly,
yeah.
And they recently did Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers,
okay.
Which was incredibly dense, and I was listening to it with Jamie Schreiner on the way back from an 8-hour drive, so I was very tired. I would need to re-listen to it later, but it was good.
Okay. I mean, it's probably a better version of like Rap Genius. It's kind of like a documentary about the album, or Genius.com, because Genius.com, is what's funny about that is like they kind of just allow anything. So you'll see so many like stretches on there. So you kind of need somebody like a good journalistic approach to something like that. If you really want somebody to break down an album, break down a song.
He's very good at it.
Yeah, I can only imagine. And dude, Kendrick's my favorite rapper. I mean,
really?
I really think Kendrick's the best. At least living right now, I think Kendrick's the best, yeah. Just in terms of how he blends commercial and art, like he does it in such a good way, and he sets such a good example, I think, for other rappers. Like, I just think he does it the most tasteful way and you don't see much of that anymore. You don't see much lyricism shining through commercial rap. It's hard to make that sell, but somehow and also the way he maintains cultural relevance is like something to study for other people. Like, whether or not you like Kendrick, he's managed to stay in the limelight for the last 15 years, ever since To Pimp a Butterfly, pretty much. Or not To Pimp a Butterfly, but Good Kid, Mad City. To Pimp a Butterfly somehow topped Good Kid, Mad City in a lot of ways. So it's just, and it reminds me of like why Kanye stays, at least originally, why he stayed in the limelight, was that he kept switching himself up musically and he kept challenging himself, and he never stayed the same. And I think that, like, to me, that's what an artist does. And Kendrick has stayed true to that from the start, dude. I mean, he's a good example. I feel like J. Cole is too, but Kendrick's more my forte. I like J. Cole, but I like Kendrick so. Oh, dude, he's like fucking a genius. He's like he's God to me. I think like when people were talking shit about him at the Super Bowl, I'm like, oh, these people.
How do you think an artist stays themselves while also changing and evolving? How do you find that balance?
That's a great question. I think a lot of it is probably like, I mean, what's interesting about someone like Kendrick is he's managed to not do interviews, not do anything like that. And I think that's probably a big thing. One thing I've thought about recently is like sometimes you'll hear celebrities say, like you'll hear someone ask a celebrity, how do you maintain your normalcy? You know, you've gotten all this recognition, and the celebrity will say like, oh, I just remember my friends from before I was famous. Like I'm still friends with them. I hang out with those people because I know. And it's just interesting to me because it makes me think. So if I get success or if things go well, it's really the people I know now. Like these people that I accumulate around now, they're gonna matter the most, way more than the people I meet later. And so that's I think it's stuff like that. It's like holding on to the stuff that you know is like true to your core, and also I think having like a core message, like an actual target from the start, and trying to stay true to that, like having a reason for doing things and not going off course and not changing that 10 times, like actually having a purpose for it all.
What is your purpose?
To shine my light on as many people as possible. And that can be done in a multitude of ways. But I think that what I try to focus on right now is to expand that as much as possible, right? Like, because I already know I have the capability to do it. So it's how do I prove to people that I can do this so that way I can do it on a bigger level? Because it's like, to me, that's what gives me purpose, is using what I do to incorporate other people and make it bigger than me, and just do that forever and keep expanding that forever, because that does mean something bigger than yourself. Like you're building something if you find a way to put other people on. And I think like with a podcast, what I've learned, because I did interviews first, is I think I can pull something out of people where you couldn't necessarily do that with an interview or with like comedians or I think even when people are coming into a podcast or coming to a thing, it's up to me to set the stage. And if you come in and you're expecting like an interview and I give you that, then you're going to act completely different than if I treat it like a conversation. And I think that I just noticed that the fact that I do that gets something out of people. And it's like, if I could just use that and just keep doing that, I already know if I could get like, you know what really was cool? Lex Friedman just had fucking, who was it? I'm forgetting his name right. Dan Houser, the guy who wrote Grand Theft Auto 4. He wrote Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. He wrote Bully. He wrote Red Dead Redemption. He wrote all these games. And he's never done any interviews except like one with, I think it was Game Informer. It was like a 20-minute interview just recently. Other than that, nothing. And then this Lex Friedman 3-hour podcast. And I think that's what you can do if you are somebody who shows, like what I'm saying, you prove that you can pull something out of people. You can get that side of people to show. You can get people who would never talk in this way to come in and talk in this way to you because they trust you. And I think that's a very cool thing. And so to me, it's just how the fuck do I keep making this work and making this better? And it's kind of like this impossible puzzle I've been trying to figure out.
Do you have a favorite episode?
That's
or a favorite guest?
I have highlights. I wouldn't say favorites, but I have highlights. Like there's ones where I'm like, damn, that was cool. Like it's cool that I even got to talk to that person.
Who are you thinking?
One is Cracka Lack, and he works in Lansing. He has a studio now that he's produced music and he films music videos, but now he has a studio where he does a whole bunch of stuff out of, like he rents out the studio for people for podcasts. He films a podcast of his own. He still films music videos. He still does all this. And so if anybody in the Midwest wants a fantastic music video, shout out Cracka Lack. That guy is awesome. Right. And he's also one of these people who he posts advice for artists on social media. So he'll he's smart with content creation and all this, and all he ever does is just share his knowledge with people. He's such a cool guy. And he's a very wise gentleman. And then also, I would say Jon Connor. Jon Connor was episode... So, it was funny. Cracka Lack was episode 66. Jon Connor was episode 88. And Jon Connor, he at one point was signed to Eminem's... Oh, yeah, that's Cracka Lack right there. That's the man.
Okay.
And Jon Connor was at one point signed to Eminem's label, and he came from Flint, Michigan, where I lived, and so he was signed with Eminem's label. He was on a song with Snoop Dogg, and that was on Dr. Dre's album. And around this whole time, he was signed with that. And he just, for people who have come out of Flint and had musical success, Jon Connor was really like the guy. I mean, he was working with Eminem's label at the time when Eminem's label was really popping off. And so, but I think that whole thing falls through between like 2012 and 2016, 2018. So now he's independent back in Flint. And it was super cool to talk to him. I'm talking to a guy who's been in the studio with Dr. Dre and fucking Snoop Dogg and Kendrick Lamar and all these people. Like, that's nuts to me.
Yeah.
And so those two are probably highlights. Also, recently, Chris Jones, the hypnotist, he hypnotized Howie Mandel on America's Got Talent and got him to shake his hand. And that was like his whole viral moment with like millions and millions of views. But what he does, for the most part, is he does a lot of he does stuff with comedians here in Chicago, where he'll do comedy shows. So it's like him hypnotizing people, but also comedians. And I think it's called Yes and Hypnosis, I think is what he calls it. And then he also goes to college campuses and has like this whole thing where he'll hypnotize the college kids and get them to like be superheroes and all kinds of shit. And it's whatever you think about hypnosis, if a guy can go to a college campus and hypnotize random kids, like, unless you believe that it's all a conspiracy and he's paying all these kids to pretend, because some of them are playing along, but what's always weird to me is like they'll say something funny, but then they have this like blank expression on their face, like they didn't say something funny. And like, that's so weird. Like, if somebody were even faking being hypnotized, how could they be so good at faking it that they don't laugh when they make the joke? Because it's like, if you ask me what my superpower is, like if you say you're a superhero and I'm a superhero, and you say, okay, what's your name? And I say Superman, and you say, oh, what's your superpower? And I say, getting the ladies. And that's just what I say, and then everybody laughs because everybody's looking at me and they think it's funny because I'm just playing along. But then I don't laugh and I play it completely straight. I don't believe that normal people can do that. I think fair. Comedians can do that. I don't think normal people can do that. And so when I watch him go to these college campuses, because you can see these videos, it has to be legit. And he was somebody who was so too cool to talk to, because again, it's somebody he did shit with John Cena. He's done things with Steve-O. He's done things with all these people. So to me, it's so weird how connected everything is, I suppose. And when you talk to somebody who has done things, like, it feels so, for some reason, it's like, oh my God, like this is a person, this is a famous person. You elevate it in your mind. And
do you feel like you have elevated the people that you've interviewed?
Over time?
Yeah,
I think so. But I mean, that's natural. That's hopefully what happens. That's my job as my own manager. Hopefully, right, is to keep doing that. I think, and my strategies have changed over time. But really, what I would say to anybody, if you're getting started doing anything at all, is just get started doing it, and you'll find that it's better just to get started and developing those credentials, and that'll mean something. Because once I have those first 20 guests, I can then say to 100 other people, hey, I've had your friend on, and that only because it's those connections again. Like, everybody is kind of connected in this way, especially the comedy world, if you're talking about the comedy world.
Yeah. So, what comedians do you have a favorite comic that you've spoken to?
Oh, wow. I have a favorite comic in what way? I think they're the funniest comic, like their actual stage act.
We'll say the best conversationalist that you have interviewed from Chicago, comedian.
Oh, that's such a hard question. That's a tough one. The best conversationalist from Chicago, because I feel like if I answer it, I'm gonna remember another one, and I'll be like, damn, I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like a quick scroll, because I know they're gonna pop out to me.
Okay.
And I don't wanna leave somebody out. And I do want to answer your question honestly. I don't want to give you a politician answer.
Appreciate it. I am sincerely curious.
Because I feel like I could just say, oh, they're all great. And you say Chicago comedians, so somebody from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm scrolling. I'm waiting for somebody to really stick out to me. I saw one that sticks out. I'm going to put him to the side of my head. All right, I'm still scrolling. I think I'm going to hang on to the one. It might be him. And yeah, it might be him. I got love for everybody. I should preface this with, I really love everybody. But yeah, if I say my favorite conversationalist, and I think part of it is like you want somebody who does a podcast because they make my job 10 times easier. So I got to say Louis D. Michael, I think I fucked his name up immediately. But Louis D. Michael, he does a podcast called Chinese Rocket Force podcast.
Okay.
And he was just a breeze. That guy was a breeze. Yeah, him right there. So I would say probably him. I liked him a lot. Because, I think like it's like when we first talked, you said to me, like, somebody who's been a comic for a long time, they usually have a calmness to them. And to me, that is so refreshing. Because I think also part of it is like you ask me, have I like upgraded my guests? And I'm trying more to lean more towards stuff like that. People who have done it for a long time, if I can, or like people who produce things, people who are more used to things. Because I think when you work with people who are newer, you'll often find this like either this pretending thing where they're putting it on a little more, like, and so they overcompensate and they do too much. Like it's not, or it's just like a general anxiety, you could call it. Like, but it's because they're not calm, because they're not, and for whatever reason, like some people just have security. Some people just have that from the start. But it's more common amongst people getting started. And so I kind of like that I can even move away from that, because I think when I started, it was a lot more like people I just randomly meet at open mics, just whatever I can find, whatever I can grab onto, which is, like I said before, not bad at all. That's what you should do. But I mean, yeah, it's very refreshing to have people, especially somebody who does a podcast, because dear Lord, dude, like just... Some people don't talk. Some people don't talk, and if you drag them in front of a microphone and you ask them to, or maybe even comics, because sometimes you'll have a comic who has a stage presence that is very short and very like to the point, and you get them on a podcast, and you still have to do a lot. So yeah, it's refreshing to have somebody who's just gonna roll with you. Yeah. Some people and not over riff and not riff you out. Some people riff the fuck out of you.
Yeah,
they'll riff you to no end.
I definitely know that struggle.
I'm sure you know. And that's like, and I love it. I'm all for a riff, but some people will riff you till the day you die. They'll tickle your riffles.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, but yeah, great. Also, I don't know if I told you this last time. You're great with the questions, man. I don't know if you know this about yourself. You're a good question asker.
Thank you. I'm curious about people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I did say that to you last time, probably.
Probably. But I've kind of spent a lot of my life asking people questions. I was actually talking to a friend recently about are you dating?
No.
Okay. We were talking about...
But ladies, that doesn't mean I don't want to.
We were talking about women's interest in BDSM. And my friend was like, I don't understand why they would want to be engaging. Like, well, how does pain equal pleasure and whatnot? I was like, you should ask. You should ask. I've asked a lot of women these questions, and it's fascinating, the response.
Yeah, and you should. Well, and that's the best way. I mean... I'm sure if we talked about this last time, I probably said the same thing, because I think this is the best way to ask questions is who, what, when, where, why questions, and that's like the bet or how, because what you're going to have is an open-ended question no matter what, and you're not placing a judgment on top of it. And that's not to say that other questions shouldn't be asked, but it's just those ones tend to be the best if you just tend to lean towards those, because it's say like, oh man, so and so is such an asshole, and I say, have you always thought he was an asshole? Or rather I should say, like, how long have you thought he was an asshole? Because if I say, have you always thought he was an asshole, maybe you'll say, no, not always. Like, no. Or like maybe you won't give me the right answer. But if I say how long, now it's like completely open-ended. Now you're just going to give me whatever is going on in your brain. I didn't place anything on top of it. And I just, that principle of the W's tends to work because you're not going to put anything else on top. Unless you're like crafty and you can find a way to slip it in there. But I think another thing about being a good question asker is to kind of even place the answer in the question sometimes. Like say somebody's trying to get to a point and then you know what they're saying, but they're not really saying it. So you would then say, well, do you think da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na? Because then they're like, yes, that is exactly it.
Yeah.
So it's also the exact opposite of that rule. Sometimes you place it right in there.
Finding the right words to articulate something. Sometimes there's just the right word for the right context that makes people understand something in a really palpable way.
Well, you know, I was reading recently, and I think it was like fascinating. It was Freud talking about comedy. Like I guess it was because I have all these books surrounding me, as you can see.
Oh yeah.
And so there was a book I found in one of these free book things, and it was Freud on comedy. And I guess it's his only aesthetic book. He didn't write about movies. He didn't write about music. He didn't write about any of that stuff. But he did write about comedy. And I've only read like the first 50 pages, but he's trying to break down like the function of a joke. And he's saying that like, I think he cited Shakespeare with the whole brevity is the soul of wit. And note that this is written in like 1905. So this is before all the stand-up comedy and all this. And so he's talking about how a lot of comedy is condensing something to the smallest possible form, and sometimes saying something without saying it at all. Mm-hmm. And it's finding a way to reduce that so that if you were to then say that in any other way, you would be using more words to say the same exact thing. Mm-hmm. And it's like almost every joke has that same exact quality where it should be so concise and so to the point that's what makes it a joke. That's what makes it funny. Or if it says the thing without saying it even, it's like you even went so far as to use the right amount of words to not even have to say something. We all already know what it is because you've said everything else.
Cutting the fat.
Yeah. And but it's just so funny to read about Freud talking about cutting the fat in 1905. He's laying it down, dude.
Yeah.
Because it's like kind of a principle to everything. Like I think it's what makes that connection happen. And also I think one thing that was I think it was astonishment and acknowledgement was the other thing, where it's like you have the moment of astonishment, like, oh, that's funny, and then the acknowledgement, like, oh, I understand why that's funny. So there's that too, where it's the joke kind of how do I put it? I mean, it astonishes you, I suppose, but you like it's the split second before you get why you're even laughing, I guess.
Yeah, the surprise.
Yeah, the surprise of it.
Punchlines.
Which is something I don't even think you could really teach. That's like a thing you have to feel, like how to make someone surprised with the joke and how to do.
The thing is timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very hard to teach people timing. I think this goes the same with rhythm. It's hard to teach people how to. Like, you could do it mathematically, but at some point it's just something in your soul a little bit that feels the rhythm.
Yeah. You know, I should turn that question back around on you, though. Do you have a favorite comic you've talked to on your podcast? I feel like now that I answered, you got to give me an answer, you know.
I can tell you off top, one of my favorites tends to be Kyron Harrell.
Oh, why is that?
I think we complement each other in how we think.
Yeah.
I think that he will give me a lot. He'll give me a lot. He'll give me a lot of feelings, thoughts, and opinions. Talking to people that are apathetic about things it becomes impossible, because when you don't care about anything, there's nothing to sink into.
Right.
And Kyron is definitely not an apathetic person.
Yeah.
So Kyron, here's one. St. James. But my favorite verse, he's done it 3 times technically. My favorite one, we lost the audio in the video.
Oh no!
And it was one of those. It was so smooth. It was
lost
perfect.
both? The audio and the video?
Yeah, it got
you
fucked
didn't
up.
like record them separately or something?
I was having issues with my computer, and by the time I realized it was already deleted. It was a whole thing.
Damn, that sucks, dude.
Yeah. And then scrolling through here.
That's like something I'm always terrified of, is losing a good episode, losing an episode in general.
Yeah.
Oh man. Every time I delete a file, I like triple check everything. I swear to you. Like it's a nightmare for me.
It is real. It sucks to lose.
Because I've had files disappear. Like I've literally had things where I'm like, am I crazy? Like where did it go? I swear to you guys. My computer's on drugs.
Yeah, I would say Kyron. Kyron was probably one of my favorites.
Kyron.
Yeah.
You know, it was on his... See, I already had this thought, but it was on his Instagram bio where I saw it. And it says, become undeniable. And and I know this is just something that people say, but every time I see it, I think of him because he says it in his bio. But it's a truth to all fields, but I think in the comedy world and entertainment especially, it's like becoming undeniable is all you can do. It doesn't matter what people say about you in the present moment or anything. It doesn't matter what this day did or what this song did or what this joke did or what this podcast did. None of that matters. It's all just becoming an undeniable force where like your body of work and everything you've done and all of that, like what you bring to the table, all that, like that's what matters, not this present thing.
Kendrick.
So I love that, dude. I just love that because it's two words. It's that nice condensation of a thought, right? It's just, that's all you got to say.
Yeah,
you could live by that one. That could be your ultimate goal right there.
Being undeniable really does something. Like I've seen people who can kind of slither their way through the entertainment industry through shaking hands and rubbing elbows and gaming the algorithm system, but then when you put them on stage and when it's time to do the actual thing, they're very deniable.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I feel like they're doing themselves a disservice even by like being on the wrong stages. Like you shouldn't, if you know you're not undeniable yet, you should not be seeking like these big opportunities. If you know you're not undeniable, you should not be doing that. Like if you don't feel that way about yourself, and it's just, and I think I said in a song once like sadness is always see-through or something like this. Like there's more to the quote than that. But what I mean by that is like just a general anxiety, just a general sadness in anybody. Like you can't bring that on a stage. It's always see-through. It's always see-through. Like if I don't believe, if I'm not confident, if I go on a stage and I just carry all this with me, you have to find some way, somehow your own way to just wash all that away. Like it's funny, I've even heard comics say like they can't watch anything negative before they go out. Like you can't watch a sad video on your phone like 20 minutes before you perform because it's going to ruin your set.
Interesting.
And I'm sure it could. Like I'm very good at toning out everything. If I'm like performing at rapping, I just ignore everything else and just think about the one thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I think running is the same. I think that's like training me for that when I run. It's just all I'm going to think about is running and just doing this and nothing else. And that's going to be what I think about for the next hour. And and not giving up and not stopping it and only thinking about that. It's like you could do it as easily as just picking something in a room and just only staring at it for 60 seconds. Also, it was my phone. You'd be surprised how hard it is to stare at one thing in one room for 60 seconds. You get so distracted so easy.
Yeah.
You know, I read a book once about meditation, and I put it in such a good way. It's like if you're walking a kid and the kid keeps trying to pull you the other way, and you have to like keep the kid walking in the one direction. That's like what you have to do with your brain when you're trying to focus on one thing at a time. If you struggle with it.
I have a really random question.
Okay, throw it at me.
Are you adopted?
No.
Are you, do you know artificial insemination?
Do I know
Do you
it?
know what that is?
I think so, yeah.
It's when, like, sperm bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know of it.
Did you have any of that in
No, what makes you think that? It is a very odd question.
Yeah, I'm going to show you.
Do I look like a sperm bank baby to you?
You look like my brother.
Oh, that's crazy.
And he is...
Maybe we should do a test, right? How close is it, folks?
It's pretty trippy.
Oh, that's pretty close. Guys, oh, wow. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yo.
He's my half brother. He's artificially inseminated.
So he's got to see me, so he should know. He should grow his mustache out. Here, I'm going to put our faces side by side right here, if I can do that. I'm trying to do his face. I think I got it. nuts, dude.
Yeah. I was sitting here and I was like, there's something uncanny about that.
You guys seeing this? That kind of scares me. I hate when I see people that look like me. I hate that.
My bad. I didn't mean to offend you.
Ever since I moved to Chicago, that started happening to me more. It didn't happen to me before I lived in a city. Yeah. It's like I realized how not unique I am.
Yeah, man.
I hate that shit. Because this guy looks just like me.
Yeah.
Whoa. And he's your brother?
Yeah.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, it's my brother. One of them. He has a twin, too.
Now, is this just like one picture of him that looks like me?
No. He doesn't have a lot of pictures of himself because he's not that type of guy, but...
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, I've always thought about that, having that beard thing happen.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, man, that scares me. We need to get... Okay, so... We'll get him and I side by side somehow. You know, we'll make that happen. We'll get some tests. We'll do a DNA test. Maybe you could do it with saliva. I could spit in a cup before you leave if you want.
Yeah. That artificial insemination shit is trippy.
When you asked me that, I was thinking, like, where could he possibly be going with this?
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a crazy... I don't know if I'd want to do that because I feel like it could go like Genghis Khan. Like just a bunch of little me's out there everywhere.
I was considering going to the sperm bank for money, but then, the repercussions of that, I don't want one day some fucking guy or gal is like, hey, you're my dad, by the way. Like,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, they're just floating out there in the world. You even do it once.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was a documentary, and apparently this happens pretty often. There was a guy, he was a doctor who did the sperm donation stuff, and he replaced all of the other people's sperm with his own.
Oh, I've heard about this. Yeah.
There's like a whole town filled with just his DNA.
Because that's what I thought about when I said the Genghis Khan thing. Like, I don't want that. There's a guy out there who does want that.
Yeah.
And that's this doctor.
Yeah. It's a weird, like, it's got to be some sort of mental disorder to want to populate as much.
I don't even think, I think it's actually, I would go as far to argue that he is doing like the primal thing that you're not supposed to do. Like every man deep down, I feel like wants to just like it's built in your DNAs. Like that's why men are not like women. Like women, I think what it is biologically, like you do the math. A woman can have about 30 babies in a lifetime, maybe 20. It's like 20 to 30. Which is a crazy number when you think about it, compared to a man. Like, how many babies could a man have? And it's almost infinite, kind of. It's very hard to figure out how many. Whereas a woman, because of the way a woman's biology is, she has to be pregnant, she has to recover from a pregnancy.
There is a clear limit.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think that this doctor just ignored all of society's rules and just decided to make his own rules.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Which you cannot do.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. There was some of them who's like the women weren't single; they had husbands, and they had to use.
Oh my god! So he just cucked out all these guys.
Yeah, so a lot of these guys they found out that their kids weren't theirs, and it was it's pretty fucked up.
No, it's not yours. It's Dr. Kevorkian's.
Yeah,
whoever this dude is, dude. Dr. Dick Vorkian, I don't know what you'd call him. That's so crazy.
There's a lot of crazy.
That is like, see, but I bet you it's like a sick fantasy a guy would have. He's like, oh yeah, like I could just have so many babies. Like I bet there's some guys like feet. I'm not into feet, but there's a guy out there who's like, oh, I just want to have all the babies. I just want to have so many babies.
Do you want to have kids?
I realistically know I want to have kids, but I would like to say, give me like 10 years. That's probably too long.
How old are you?
27.
So you'd be about 37, almost 40.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's kind of too long, but I do value the security and freedom that I have, and I do know how our economy works. So I think I'd rather pursue my dreams while I have a chance.
Yep.
Because I think if I had a kid, I mean, I have pets, and even they take financial support.
Yeah.
And so I can only imagine a living child, a living human being.
Yeah.
I mean, but also not to knock raising a baby, because I think that probably is the most gratifying thing anybody could ever do. So it probably would change the purpose of my entire life and make me look at everything differently. I'm all those things people say when they have kids. I'm sure it would happen to me. So I would never say I don't want kids. I don't want kids with the wrong person. I could say that much.
That is definitely fair.
Yeah.
I hear that like most gratifying thing, and yet I've also met people. I have a pretty cynical take on that.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
I don't know if you know my day job. Do you know?
Maybe.
I'm an American Sign Language interpreter.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
So that's my day job.
That's cool.
Thanks. I'm very tired.
That's cool, ASL.
I'm very tired. I've been doing night and day shifts to pay out of debt. It's a whole thing. Anyway,
just in the middle at 3 a.m, just throwing up signs.
I was working from 2 to 4 a.m. today.
Damn.
And then 8 till noon.
And you're really just interpreting for hours?
It depends on the situation sometimes, and then other times I get to just sit and chill, but every day's different.
Huh.
But here's what really made me like believe most people should not be parents is I found out like 90% of hearing people when they have deaf kids, they don't learn sign language.
Huh.
Most people do not learn sign language when they have deaf kids.
They don't adapt.
They don't learn at all. And then they'll teach their kid like home signs, which is just made up nonsense. It would be like if I had a kid and I said, instead of the word bathroom, I said, that's the I don't know, corner box.
Yeah.
And then now that kids, as far as they know, that's the word for bathroom. And then they go out into the world and they're fucked.
Oh.
So most parents, like if you're a parent and you're watching this and you have a deaf kid and you didn't learn sign language, you're a piece of shit. Like you're not a good person.
And that's most of them?
Most of them.
Wow.
Most of them.
And so do they just rely on the education system to do
our
all
education
this
system is dog shit, does not care about people with disabilities. So our education system also does not teach those kids. A lot of deaf people are very illiterate because of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so your job then is to like just what? Like
my job is, they call it, this is the philosophy I was taught, it's called conduit method.
Okay.
Conduit method is where you are an instrument. My job is to be there and to take my personal beliefs and feelings and everything out of it and be the act of the middleman between the conversation. That's all I'm supposed to do.
Right.
So if people like I end up saying things that I would never say all the time,
right,
but I have to say it because this deaf person's saying it, or the hearing person, and vice versa.
Yeah. That must be fun. Do you ever get like offended, but you can't say you're offended, you can't show you're offended, so you just have to.
I've had people. There's a lot of very racist deaf people out there.
Oh, that's what I was imagining. It's probably the racist things, right? Because it just and and it's what, a conversation between. I mean, what is the context of this type of thing even? Like you're who is communicating? Like what types of things are they hiring you for?
So it depends. I've done school is kind of my bread and butter, so I get because it's consistent. But I've done doctor's visits, I've done therapy, psychiatry, dentist stuff, job interviews, job trainings, family therapy and counseling, parole officer meetings, prison discussions. Sometimes I've been an interpreter for just family conversation because the hearing person doesn't know sign language and the deaf person doesn't speak English. So I've just been that.
Right.
I've been in the well, legally, give me a second. Okay. I have been in the middleman to many drug deals. And like legally it just is what it is. It's weird. It's super weird.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of upwards mobility with that career path. Honestly, you could do all kinds of things. I never really thought about how broad it was until you started listing stuff just now. Yeah. I was thinking maybe like a couple formal events. Wow, you're kind of like everything, because deaf people need you for everything.
I would say, so the way I would word it is that it's not that deaf people need me, it's that two different people that speak different languages need me.
Yeah, right. They both do.
The hearing person needs me just as much as the deaf person, and vice versa.
And it's two different, just like any other interpreter would be.
Any other
necessary.
language.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'd be like if you were going to another country and you had to conduct business. How are you going to do that? You need the translation guy.
Yeah. So.
Do you ever have? Is there ever things that get lost in translation?
All the time.
Yeah, I have to imagine.
You have to, because culturally, like. Culturally, there's a lot of little idiosyncrasies you wouldn't think about. Like, I hate it. I fucking hate it when hearing people. There's a few things when they don't speak directly to the person. I was dealing with this last night. When they're like, "Tell her this, tell him this." I'm like, "You just act like I'm not here. Just talk to them." Like, I know it's weird hearing my voice coming from somewhere else, but like, the more you say, tell her, tell them, it becomes confusing.
Right.
So just talk directly to them. When people try to slow down for my benefit, they make it even harder because I need to hear what your point is before I can even start saying anything. Mm-hmm. So if you're saying, I decided to go. It's like that's not how the language isn't 1-to-1, so I can't say until you say where the fuck you decide to go. I can't do anything.
Oh, right.
What else do they?
It's like how in other the words are put before other words in other languages.
Just the grammar of the structure is different.
Yeah.
Or
the syntax.
Yes,
I want to say
that will also affect it as well.
Yeah.
And hearing people will like. When oh Jesus Christ, when they try to be funny, like
because jokes don't work.
Well, they don't translate. There's a lot of context that's missing.
I mean, and anybody knows that if you ever watch any comedy in any other language, it's just so hard. You can read the translation and it still doesn't really land.
I had a guy who was, we'll say, again, I have to be vague for legal reasons. He was a gathering of people, and he is like on a microphone getting all of these coworkers together, and he's being silly, and so he's like, "Gather, brethren, we will all get it." He's speaking in a way that's like strange, and I needed it's so hard to articulate that to somebody in a completely different language. Like, I hate that shit. So being funny annoys me. Don't be funny with interpretation.
Wow.
Just say the fuck what you have to say.
Because it just doesn't work.
Doesn't translate right. Yeah.
That's great advice. Because I bet you deal with that shit all the time.
Every day.
It never ends. Because everybody wants to try and be funny. People probably don't even notice they're doing it. It's like, oh, I'm just going to throw a joke in.
Yeah.
You're just in there thinking, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get confused.
Yep. And then I have to try to fix whatever the confusion is. It's the whole thing.
And they're like, what the fuck did you tell him?
Yeah.
What did you tell him?
So, yeah.
What you said. I told them what you said.
So that's my day job.
Interesting. Well, that's fun, dude. I have to imagine that ASL and sign language probably comes in handy in all sorts of ways too. Like I've noticed that it's gotten more popular. When I was in school, I feel like it was just starting to become a class, at least where I was at. But it was like an elective class, and they wasn't treated like Spanish. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if that's changed. And that was, I graduated in 2016, so this is like 2012 to 2016, where I remember there was a sign language class, but it was all virtual too. So it wasn't like we had a sign language teacher. It was like you would go to the class, and it would all be through a screen in the classroom, because that was the only way they could get a sign language educator there, which was cool. They even did that.
Yeah.
But so I remember that's what my school did, and I remember thinking that would probably be good. What always fascinates me too is that language really can be boiled down to like just hand movements. Like, you can really communicate everything with just hand movements. You can say it all just like that.
You just need grammar and structure. If you have grammar and structure, anything can become a language.
Yeah, or Braille always. I feel the same way. It's like, wow. So if I knew Braille, just run my finger over this and I know everything it says. Yeah.
Working with deaf blind people was a weird experience.
Oh, you've done that too?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
They use tactile sign language. So they touch your hands, you sign, sign whatever you need to say, and then they feel it, and then they feel what you're saying. I cannot. Yeah, I can't wrap my mind around it. It's really crazy,
dude.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
Yeah.
Just they're like holding on to your hand, they're touching your hand as you're doing,
and then
the regular sign language. You're not changing it at all.
Nope.
What if you did like you had to touch your face? Their hands.
They touched my face.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's really weird.
I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, maybe not obviously, but people who are deaf, people who are blind, especially if it happens when you're younger, your brain learns to fill in those gaps. So there is that. But still, that is fascinating. Because, I mean, I would imagine that's probably part of it, is just that they've lost those two senses. So their sense of touch is so...
it's palpable.
Yeah, they're very, very tuned into their sense of touch because it's all they've got. If you couldn't hear and you couldn't see, you would really rely on smell and touch way more
touch,
than
and
a regular...
taste.
And taste, taste. So I can, but still, I just can't even imagine. But I guess you couldn't imagine being blind either, right? Like it'd be very hard to imagine walking around with your eyes closed all day and being able to do all the regular things you do. But it's not as if blind people don't lead regular lives. And so
being blind is a nightmare of mine.
Yeah. Oh, I think. Well, they always say, would you rather be blind or deaf?
Fucking
and
deaf.
as a musician, that's such a hard question to answer.
Deaf.
Because I want to say deaf. But then I can't do what I want anymore.
Sure.
So
I can almost guarantee you want to pick deaf. But I can explain why if you want.
Oh, you seem very solid in your position.
Because I've had to... during the interpreting program, we would, to practice, some of us would pretend to be deaf. We would have to put... as an empathy thing, is to feel what feels like. And you can still drive a car, you could still see people, you could still move around, you can still grab things on your own, you still have a sense of where you are in space. If you are blind, you take away so much, no offense to blind people, if there's blind people listening, you take away so much. It's fucking terrifying. One day, if you ever get bored, blindfold yourself and then live a day blindfolded and then put little earplugs in and live a day with earplugs in, and tell me which one's easier to do.
You're right.
I know the musician, I get it, but fuck, man, I'm good. I'm good on that.
No, you're right. You're right. Because how would I go places?
With a stick or a dog?
Yeah. What if someone has pepper spray? What do I do? I wouldn't have even known that happened.
You would not. You would hear a commotion.
Yeah. Huh?
It is. People, I think people would, similar to the whole violence thing, I think our society would be much better if everyone took martial arts, and if everyone had to live as if they had a disability every now and again, because my God, is it humbling.
Yeah, those are two good martial arts, and then live as if you have a disability. You gotta pick a good disability, though. You can't just pick anything.
What's considered a good disability?
Blind.
Oh, God, yeah.
Blind is very humbling.
Yeah, that's a very humbling disability.
Maybe lose a limb for a day.
Oh, that's
that would
also
probably
humbling.
teach you a lot.
Yeah.
Go for both arms. That's
a whole thing.
Really,
yeah. That's
a stretch.
When you're working with people with disabilities, whether it be physical or mental, that's another thing. Oh man, for example, interpreting for deaf people with schizophrenia it's such a confusing thing because
holy shit, I can only imagine.
Yeah, because schizophrenics hear voices, but it's not that's not literal. There's not actual auditory. It's all in your head. So a deaf person hearing voices it's so hard to articulate what that even feels like.
That is so confusing.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And it's a thing. There's a lot of deaf people that with schizophrenia, and you to try to articulate what that even experience is.
Yeah, I have a book around here about schizophrenia, and I remember just the beginning of the book, because I really want to read the whole thing, but the beginning of it just laid it out where it's kind of like autism, where the first diagnosing somebody who's schizophrenic is like diagnosing somebody who's autistic. There's not really a clear definition of what schizophrenia even is. It's just 10 or 15 symptoms, and if you have like 5 of them, then now you're schizophrenic.
Yeah.
So some schizophrenic people, they can lead a completely different life than another schizophrenic person, and that leads to so many misunderstandings just right there about what schizophrenia is, because it is a very strange, different disorder. It's way different than other disorders. And if you've ever met somebody with schizophrenia, if you've ever gotten close to somebody with schizophrenia, you know just like how oddly someone's mind can work when they're like, I mean, a brilliant mind, as Oscar Beatty as it was I think probably a great cinematic depiction.
I've never seen
that was Russell Crowe. He's playing a mathematician, and it's based on a true story. It's like a guy who discovered some mathematic thing, and he has this great prosperous life, but then all of a sudden his schizophrenia comes out and he goes mad. And he has all these delusions, and often something you'll see with schizophrenic people is that they have this like their mind has this massive framework, and they're so good at like keeping track of all this different shit, and they connect all these dots that maybe they're not supposed to be connected, but it's like fascinating the connections they make and just how much they might know about one particular topic. Like I had a schizophrenic I want to say cousin-in-law, and he was staying at my house once, and this was when I was in high school, and I would show up, and he would just tell me that I want to say he said I had dragon blood, and different people had different types of blood, and he was telling me about how he would cast spells, and these spells would kill certain celebrities, and so if he ever like sees a celebrity that died in the news, he would claim that he was the one who killed the celebrity with his witchcraft, and it was just, you'd hear him monologue for an hour about nonsense, but it's not like a crackhead monologue. It's not like they're repeating themselves for the same thing over and over and over. It's completely different than that. Their brain is a prison, and they can't escape it. And they know to an extent that they're this way, which makes it even worse. Oh, dude. And so deaf and schizophrenic?
Crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? Like, you couldn't even begin to quantify that. Like, it's hard to even define schizophrenia. How do you define deaf schizophrenia? Man. Whoa. I'm trying to understand it as we speak right now. Like, what would that experience even be like? Because if you can't, like, you think one thing that really rattled my brain once is I saw, it was just in like a children's book. And it was a guy who was an engineer, and he moved to America, so he used to speak Chinese, and then he spoke English. And he was saying how the hard part about learning English wasn't learning to speak the language, it was learning to think in the language. And I thought, whoa, that's such an interesting way to look at it. And it made me think a lot differently about, like, how that works, like to naturally think in a language, because you think in your default language. So if you're deaf and you don't think in a language, how does that work if you have these intrusive thoughts that
in American Sign Language? I do it. When I started becoming fluent, I would dream in sign language.
So the schizophrenic people, maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're like seeing signs. Maybe it's like comes in signs.
I have no idea. I couldn't speak to the schizophrenia part, but for a deaf person, like,
maybe, because you think in signs, really. Huh. Wow. Like you see them almost. You feel like as if you see them.
Like,
because I mean, it's kind of like if you remember an event, you don't see the event in your mind necessarily, but you feel it. You can imagine it. It's the same as that.
Can you just say a sentence?
The dog went for a walk.
Okay, so if I'm thinking about it in sign, man, it is very hard to describe. The dog went for a walk. I would say dog, eyebrows up. Past walk.
Oh.
Dog, the past walk. Yeah. But man, I don't know how to describe it. It just, like we were saying with muscle memory, it just is now.
Right.
It is, yeah.
That is so interesting. Because it's like you're connecting ideas when you're doing sign language then. It's like there's these 3 ideas, and you're just throwing them together in the most intuitive way as fast as you can. Yeah. That's a dog going for a walk. I bet dogs could learn sign language pretty well. They could at least learn like 30 signs to 50 signs. As long as you teach them right, you give them treats afterwards. They couldn't spell words. Now, a dog couldn't spell a word, but a dog could learn some basic things. Like hello. A dog would probably know what that means.
Yeah, I'm sure we could figure out the science.
I never really thought about that, like a dog learning, because a dog does get, if you do the right, if you trick it the right way, you can do some cool stuff with your hands. Get a dog Pavlov's bell, folks. That's Pavlov's bell.
Oh, Lord.
It's just psychology. And, it is kind of like a psychology thing. I mean, it's interesting to me when you see AI become this big conversation and chat GBT becoming what it is, because I remember 10 years ago when it was like these basic chat bots you could talk to, and it was crazy. Like, oh my God, I can just type in a message and it'll come up with a response. And now, basically what AI is doing, what ChatGPT is doing is like, whether you think it can become alive or not, the whole model that they're basing it on is the way that we form thoughts about words, like the way that our linguistic programming, like what we're talking about forming thoughts through words, that's what they're trying to replicate through AI. And that's actually the limitation of AI, because I think that'll always be the limitation, is that we don't think necessarily only through words. We just use words to quantify what we think, whereas a chatbot only can think in words. It has no other understanding of anything. It's never experienced. It's trained on words and words alone, where we're just like using words to try to get there. And we can't even really explain how we think. Like, we don't even really know. But we think we know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm just saying, dude. I think like when you think about like language in general, the fact that you can come up with a thought, like I'm translating a thought to you. I've always thought that that's what I've liked so much about writing music, is that I can have a thought and I feel like I can almost translate it in a more pure way through a song than I could through me trying to say it to you. Like, I would rather tell you the lyrics of the song and perform the song than I would to try to explain the whole song and articulate the whole thing. It's almost a waste of time. That's what I always liked about David Lynch as a director, is he'll do all these things, and then if you ever ask him why he did that, he almost like seems upset with you for asking.
It just is, man.
Because it just is. That's what it's supposed to be. I shouldn't be explaining everything to you all the time, And so, but and language is like, how would I? Because I think that's another thing, is I think it makes you better when you know how to translate your own thoughts. I think people who are poor communicators, who just can't talk, like they don't know how to say what they're thinking, they lead very bad lives. Because you're not confident when you don't know how to say what you think. Like you'll feel a way, but you don't know how to do that.
Communication is key.
Yeah, and I've seen it happen time and time again, And I think it's like, it's where you get, I think, anxious people, like displaced people. Is you just have to identify yourself in a way, and just just have ideas and put them out there and communicate your ideas. People will not communicate their ideas. If you have to pull them out of people, they will not communicate their ideas. I communicate too many, people won't do it. This is what I've noticed about people.
I'm curious. What do you after we're done? Because I am going to have to.
Yeah, of course.
What are you going to be doing after this?
After this, man, I got because you asked me right before we started about my shooting schedule. Oh my God, I got podcasts I got to get ready to put out. So there's that. I got music I should be getting ready to go, dude. I have like 10 songs I'm sitting on. I want to be dropping a song every single month. So let's make that happen, Ruse. How about that? So there's that. What else? Oh, dude, I just noticed. I got do you know how the Gazellies work? This whole thing.
No
Do people
idea.
nominate people? So I know it because someone messaged me. They're like, "Oh, congrats on the nomination." And I'm like, "Huh?" And so I went and looked, and Ruse Radio got nominated for like the 4 best. There's 4 people on the best comedy podcast.
That's awesome.
It's so funny because I did nothing to campaign. I asked no one anything. I was notified that I was nominated.
That's a good sign, man.
Exactly.
That's something right.
That's what I was thinking. It's like, I'd rather it be like, that's when I have an award up there. That's I won junior year Prince in my high school,
Yes.
and I did nothing trying to campaign at all. I was so surprised that I never have felt popular. And so whenever these things happen, I'm like, I almost feel confused. I'm like, wait a minute, how does this whole thing work? Like, and I think if I ever get any acknowledgement, like real acknowledgement, I'm still gonna be so confused. Like I feel like there's I feel like it's gonna be like that Kanye song where he says, "I'm on TV talking like it's just you and me." Like, I'm gonna be like Kanye. I'm gonna end up like Kanye, is what I'm saying. After we're done with this podcast, I'm gonna end up like Kanye, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Appreciate the warning.
That's what I'm doing after this.
Okay.
But yeah, no, like honestly, music, getting podcasts ready. Those are basically, I'm always telling my mom, because my mom's like, maybe you need to get another job. Maybe you need to make more money. I'm like, Mom, I have 3 jobs. I do my real job, and then I do music, and then I do a podcast. So that's what I'm doing. What do you have, mics or something you're going to? You got anything like that you're doing?
Shit. And I have to edit. This mics have been fucked up because I've been working nights and days. So probably hit some mics and workout material. After this, I think I might hit Trader Todd's. Shout out to Devin Glass.
Oh, I didn't even know he had a mic.
He has a mic on Wednesdays at Trader Todd's off the Belmont.
Huh.
Yeah, so after this, I'm probably gonna head straight down there because I'll be on the red line anyway.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, hopefully I don't get pepper spray.
Hey, it was a pleasure to have you back. I hope everybody who watches this goes and checks out your podcast. Have you been dropping episodes?
Not at all.
That's what I was thinking.
Not even a little bit.
I'm promoting it right now, but when's the last time?
Oh fuck, dude. I don't know. Right now I've been focusing on I don't know when this is gonna come out, but we're producing a comedy magic show on December 17th. Which
this should come out before that.
At the Den Theater at 7:30.
There we go.
Laughs and Illusions. I'm excited about that.
Oh, who's on it? Do you know the magician? At least the magician.
Yeah, Trey the Illusionist.
Okay.
Very good. Very talented.
Dude, so if you're doing that, I would recommend at least checking out Chris Jones' stuff, because he fits right into that magic hypnosis world. So if you're trying to put on more shows like that, he's already doing the same thing.
Okay.
And you know how this show ends. You've been on here before. A message for the children, the kids watching. They're on the school bus. They've been listening. They know that we're 2 wise gentlemen, and we've displayed our knowledge. We've shown that we have philosophical, stoner-proof ideas about the language formation methods of the brain. And I think if a kid heard something like that, they would realize that that person is someone they should follow and listen to if they said anything else ever. And so that's what you're going to do, is you're going to give them a piece of advice that they can use for the rest of their life. And second, the social medias, where people can find you, where they can continue to not leave you alone after this. What they're going to type in when they go to what website. The floor is yours.
If I were to give advice to the kids, it's learn tactical, practical skills, something that AI can't take over, at least not yet. And then my Instagram is AaronChase91, which you can find me there.
Hell yeah, dude. Thanks for stopping by. Keep doing awesome things. Keep making magic happen like we did here today on Ruse Radio. Clocking out. Double down, competition couldn't help him to rock. Missed the whole time, holy fell through the flock. That's an ordinary miracle, wealth to the block. It's a balance in the character that's calm and collect. It's apparent his caricature is lost in the mess. It's hysterical, the picture that they put to his face. It's a confidence administered to earn their respect. Live a little, light a candle.